In his book on Wyatt Earp, The Missing Years, the author Ken Silch reports that Wyatt staked several mining claims in the Mojave and the Sonoran Desert. He bought his only known home in Vidal, California, near the Colorado River. Here we visited the home, and it felt strange to stand near the house that Wyatt Earp once lived in, thinking that maybe at any moment he might step out. Working with the author Ken Silch, we set off to find one of his claims. We started our search in Earp, California. We followed Route 62 northwest for about 5 miles and then followed a wash north. We spotted a few wild burros in the wash. We followed the wash for about 1.5 miles, looking for signs of mining activities. Finally, we spotted this claim marker, and there was a prospect hole. We were in the mining, but was it the right spot? Ken checked the view of the surrounding hills based on an old picture of Wyatt's camp. The hills in the area looked similar. I felt like we had stepped back in time, and I was standing in an area that Wyatt Earp once worked and prospected about 100 years ago, seeing the same hills and mountains that he saw. Wyatt was in his 60s, and he spent the winters of his final years working these claims, living with his wife Josie in their Vidal cottage. He later moved to Hollywood, and on January 13, 1929, Wyatt Earp died in Los Angeles at the age of 80. We had an opportunity to interview Ken Silch, the author of Wyatt Earp, The Missing Years, and asked him how he actually survived out there in the desert.
Out there in the desert. He said, you know how he did it? Every weekend, he'd go down to Santa Fe Railroad Payday in Needles. He'd go in there and he'd play cards. And that's how he made his living off the rails down there, oh, yeah. Well, the photographs don't show it, but he was a mean guy in appearance. Someone said, I think a columnist for the San Diego paper said, his piercing blue eyes could rip the buttons off a man's vest. I had that in my book. And he quoted that. He was a man to be reckoned with. And as I say, he walked into his crowded saloon, and the guy just poured for him. They didn't know who he was or anything, but they just like to look something. But I have a lot of admiration for Wyatt. He led an interesting life, and a very decent man. He made his living off of gambling and a little women, I guess. But his marriage to Josie was a fairly solid one.
For more information on Wyatt Earp and this book, click on the link in the upper right-hand corner of this video.